Sanjay Jha, if terror and talks cannot happen, terror and cricket should not happen, terror and movies should not happen. Shouldn't there be a nationwide approach in this, sir?
Gaurav, first and foremost, I'm glad we are having a civilized conversation on a difficult topic. Let me add a point here. Are we not ignoring the Pakistan and the Indian diaspora that lives abroad and, in my experience, lives even through difficult times without getting into any animus or into all kinds of what I would call as deep visceral hate or violence? There has been some it happened in the UK a year or 2 years ago, but by and large, Indians and Pakistanis abroad live in great degree of camaraderie and good spirit, which
Till the time
tells you that as
Pakistanis come in
governments.
larger numbers like they do it at Leicester, and then they start targeting our temples, and then they start killing our people, and then they start raping our women,
Gaurav,
and it's happened. Pakistan has massive grooming gangs,
yeah,
massive in the United Kingdom.
yeah,
Dr. Tara Kartha wants to come in. I want you to complete that point. So, sure, complete your
Gaurav,
point.
let
I'll
me
come to
finish
Dr.
my
Tara Kartha.
point. Gaurav, let me finish my point.
Go on,
I'm
sir.
saying that there have been sporadic instances. I said it myself. I actually owned up to it. So this is not anything new. My larger point is, on an overall basis, I have seen it. I travel quite a bit, and I've seen Indian and Pakistani communities living in peace together abroad when they're fully aware that the countries may be in military conflict, and Pakistan has done
Sir,
cross-border
perhaps they are not directly in the fire like Indians are in Pahalgam and in Mumbai, the city you live in. 200 massacred in 2006, 257 killed in 1993, 166 massacred during 26/11. Dr. Tara Kartha, is this something that we really need to move against? Does the civil society engagement help, madam, in bringing peace in your appreciation? Cricket,
God,
hockey, films.
No,
Gaurav, I
it's
believe
this
confidence
point
building
of
measures
time.
should never be
Sorry, can
abdicated.
I
That's
just
my
finish
point.
what I'm saying? At this
Okay.
point of time, when Op Sindoor is still on, how am I going to explain to my soldiers that they may get into another fight, they may get killed? But you know what? It's okay to play hockey and the rest of it. At this point of time, no. And what Abhishek, the earlier speaker
Abhijit.
said, this is all
Yeah.
Abhijit, sorry, this is about monetizing. There's a lot of money in cricket. There's a lot of money in films. Sorry, it can't be done. What is a soldier on the border going to think about this? But however, I still say there are channels in Pakistan. By the way, that person you mentioned is people hate him in Pakistan also. They said some of the things he said was shameful.
Yes.
So you need to dominate the narrative. You can't go on banning things. It's
Okay.
not that's not the way you have to get into the information space.
Yeah,
So
but how
don't
do you dominate a narrative when that narrative is काफिरों को मारो, ये काफिर हैं, इनको मार डालो? That's the narrative that comes from that country based on religion. Abhijit, you want to come in, and so does Sushant. My simple point is, we come from a country where you had Bhama Shah, who gave his entire wealth to Maharana Pratap to fight the Mughals. He said, देश रहेगा तो पैसा भी आ जाएगा. Fight, Maharana, fight. But you have BCCI that wants to mint money and doesn't want to get out of an international competition. Is my understanding flawed, Abhijit?
It is 100% accurate, Gaurav. And let me tell you, these people-to-people contacts are another big money spinning machine. All they do is take taxpayer money, either the UK taxpayer or the American taxpayer or the Indian taxpayer. And the only thing I've seen for the first day that happens at these track 2 events is they sit and compare frequent flyer miles on Star Alliance and One World, who got a business class upgrade and who did not, who got upgraded to a suite and who did not. There is massive money to be made in all these track 2 tamashas. And what do? They come to Delhi and sing God knows what. I mean, half that nuance is lost on 99% of this country. But we have to sit and endure it in the name of peace. We go there and we put up whatever vahiyat dancing or singing or whatever, some self-referential nonsense that keeps happening out there. What did we end the insurgency with all this track 2? Today the insurgency is over. There is terrorism, which always happens. In fact, at the end of an insurgency, terrorism will peak. Remember, Beyant Singh, the chief minister of Punjab, was killed in a bomb after the insurgency had ended. Tail end insurgencies will always see terrorism. This people to people contact is the biggest overrated nonsense. They use it to infiltrate us. They use it to create sympathy. They use it to create, fifth columns and things like that. It is the last thing we need. We will lose
Okay.
absolutely nothing.
ओके सुरेश
Absolutely
गुप्ता जी,
nothing.
ये
And
बॉलीवुड
people,
के एक तबके को ये क्या प्यार है पाकिस्तान से? क्या भारत में अच्छे गायक नहीं है? क्या भारत में अच्छे एक्टर एक्ट्रेसेस नहीं है? क्यों इनको पाकिस्तान का, मेरी दृष्टि में, गंध चाहिए हमारे देश में?
देखो 140 करोड़ जनता है ना, सभी हमारे साथ है, देश के साथ है और पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ है। हर जगह हर कंट्री में कोई ना कोई विरोध करने वाले मुट्ठी भर लोग होते हैं, लेकिन वो भूल जाते हैं कि हजारों की तादाद में जो शहीद हुए भारत में जवान, उनके परिवार क्या सोचते होंगे उनको देखकर कि वो आज वो क्रिकेट खेल रहे, मूवी कर रहे, तो उनका परिवार सोचता होगा हमारे बच्चे ने इस देश के लिए बलिदान दिया, और ये आज लोग उनके साथ क्रिकेट खेलते, मूवी कर रहे, वो क्या सोचते होंगे? आप तो बस पैसे के लिए सब कुछ कर रहे हो, लेकिन कभी देशभक्ति को जब मौका आए तभी स्टैंड तो लो। आज पुलवामा किया 2019 में, आज 24 में पहलगाम किया, 3 साल बाद फिर बड़ा आतंकवादी हमला करेगा। पाकिस्तान थोड़ी ना रुकने वाला है। आज मैंने आपको बताया अमरनाथ यात्रा चल रही है, वहां जवान क्यों खड़े, किसके लिए खड़े? हमारे भारतीयों के लिए। कौन आतंकवादी हमला करने वाला? पाकिस्तान। आप जम्मू कश्मीर में जाके घर लीजिए ना, अभी सब ले सकते हैं, जाके लीजिए, रहिए। आप नहीं रह सकते क्योंकि आपको डर है कि वहां के लोग मार देंगे हमें, पाकिस्तान का कोई भी आदमी मार देगा। ये डर आज भी बना है।
बड़ी बात आपकी।
तो ये डर कहीं ना कहीं खत्म नहीं होगा। तो भारत सरकार को और हमें भी, एक भारतीय होने के नाते हमें भी स्टैंड लेने की जरूरत है। 200 के आसपास दुनिया में कंट्री है। पाकिस्तान को बॉयकॉट करो। 1947 में हमने पाकिस्तान को जमीन दिया, वो जमीन हमारी है। जब वो हमसे वफादार नहीं हो पाया, वो किसी से वफादार क्यों होगा? तो
सही बात,
भारतीय एक साथ हो जाए, सरकार एक साथ हो जाए,
भारत के प्रति घृणा,
हम बिजनेस करेंगे। आप
नहीं, you're absolutely right, क्योंकि भारत के प्रति जो घृणा है पाकिस्तानियों के मन में, वो हमको काफिर मानते हैं। वो कहते हैं काफिरों को मार दो। बट सुशांत सरीन, should it be a government-led approach or a people-led approach or both?
I think it has to be both, but I think it's also important, we keep throwing these shibboleths people to people. I think it's the biggest nonsense, and I'll give you evidence for it. One, I keep asking everybody in government, including from the Ministry of External Affairs, please tell me, give me an audit of this people to people approach which you have followed for over 30, 40 years. You've had hundreds of thousands of Pakistanis coming out here. Have you created a constituency for peace in Pakistan? No, none, nothing, zilch, zero, zip. Okay. Second, between 2004 and 2008, a period all of us remember very well, when a lot of people to people was happening. There was a lot of toing and froing, cultural exchanges, lawyers going, judges coming, businessmen going, all kinds of things happening. Gaurav, there were 17 major terror attacks in India, including the Mumbai train bombings, including many of, but I can count. I have a list of all those 17.
Yes.
Right? That was
I've
also
covered virtually all on ground.
Also
Yes.
the time that Zaveri Bazaar bombing happened in Bombay,
Yes.
in Sanjay Das city, right? All sorts of things were happening. And yet we were talking about people to people. This is the biggest fraud which is pulled on us. And people like Diljit Dosanjh and others who, will try and do virtue signaling. Music has no boundaries. Music has boundaries, damn it. Music has boundaries. Just because somebody else listens to your music does not mean they are in love with you. They are in love with you. They think that you are somebody who will be anti-India. You will be probably some kind of a closet Khalistani. I am not saying it. That is their sense. So people from Punjab particularly need to be extremely careful when they talk about this Punjab linkages, Punjabi language and all of that. Our Punjabi language is completely different from their Punjabi language now.
In fact, now they're shifting entirely to Urdu and very little Punjabi on the other side. Ashutosh, you wanted to come in and respond to Sushant Sareen.
No, I'm not here to respond to what Sushant Sareen is saying, but my basic question is, before putting blame on these film stars and film actors and cricketers, let's Government of India come out with a total breakdown with the relationship with the Pakistan. We are still having a diplomatic relationship with the Pakistan. We have only downgraded our relationship. Now the issue is, why so much love for the Pakistan by the Modi government? When they are killing our people on a daily basis, let's break diplomatic relations. Let's have no diplomatic communication with the Pakistan. But we are still continuing with that. So there's a lot of hypocrisy around this. The people on your channel will come and say all kinds of things, but they should tell to the government that you break relationship with the Pakistan, because Pakistan is not going to listen to you. They will keep coming. They will keep killing innocent Indians.
Okay, Dr. Tara Kartha, you want to quickly respond? The relationship downgraded but remains, or should we always have at least some basic level of contact, though downgraded, so that you know what's happening on the other side of the hill? Where do you stand on this? A government-led approach, that government should say, no cricket with Pakistan, not just bilateral, but even multilateral. Because if we have the diplomatic heft and if we have the financial heft, our effort should be ban Pakistan from ICC. If we cannot, we should just opt out and have our own league. Our IPL does so well, Pakistan out of it is Pakistan's loss.
No, that I 100% agree. I mean, you just had Defense Minister Rajnath Singh refusing to sign a document at SCO, at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, because of Pahalgam. That is the level at which we are taking this. The music has no boundaries and all. I don't believe it. You have enough Indian actresses, you can use those. You cannot have this two-faced policy. I don't think it is honorable to our soldiers to say that, oh, we will have cricket. And how, I mean, it's the morale of our soldiers on the ground. As the previous gentleman said, it's completely unacceptable.
Okay,
But
you
what
agree,
I
Sanjay
also
Jha?
say-
Okay,
No,
go on,
the
ma'am.
thing-
Complete your point. I'll bring in Sanjay Jha.
Gaurav,
Just
my
one
Sir,
short
give me 30
point.
seconds. Give me 30 seconds. Tara Kartha is
Yeah.
just completing a point. Go on, ma'am.
See, even during the height of the Russian and Soviet Soviet Cold War, they were always talks. It was open because you want to avoid danger, which is why the question why the embassies are kept open is purely for that and nothing else.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, is Aman Ki Asha truly a way to lull India into complacency before that next major terror attack and that so-called golden era of relationship between India and Pakistan that some commentators speak of in Dr. Manmohan Singh's era, 2004 to 2007, where there was this 4-point formula, we'll sort out Kashmir, demilitarize Siachen. Pakistan was actually misleading us. They wanted us to demilitarize Siachen. When we did, while there were these terror attacks happening, including 2006, they were preparing for 26/11, sir.
Gaurav, let me tell you, we have focused a lot on cinema, rock stars, and cricket stars. But what is the elephant in the room? The information war is done by governments. And if you look at both the SCO as well as the Quad release, they mentioned Pahalgam terror attack, but they excluded Pakistan. So that has been the diplomatic failure of the government, which basically makes Pakistan triumphant and India look weak and absolutely compromised. That we all know that yes, Pakistan sponsors terrorism, including Pahalgam, but the Indian government has not been capable of influencing even its own allies in the international forum. And that is what should be the core worry for all of us as citizens of our country.
Sushant Sarin, India's efforts, do they lack that effort? Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs, NSA level dialogue, EAM level dialogue, PM level dialogues, and all of that. Have we failed to isolate Pakistan? Whether you talk about international fora or cricket or films, do we still see some hope? One day Pakistan will reform, one day we'll have good relations.
Gaurav, if you are realistic, there is no such hope. People like me have harbored these hopes and we've seen our hopes shattered. So I don't have any such hope. But on your question, look, yes, I think some of our diplomatic campaigns could have been done much better, need to be done much better. We should learn from some of the setbacks that we've had in terms of how to engage with the international community, how to start setting our narrative, how to ensure that whatever information we are putting out is credible, is compelling, and is relatable to other people. So I think there has been definitely a lapse in that. And anybody who denies it is not doing any service to this country. So yes, on the strategic communications field, we need to do a lot. But I'll just add two very, very quick points. One, listen, even the worst enemies in the world keep diplomatic relations. If they don't have direct diplomatic relations, they hold an interest section in a third embassy in a particular country, so that they have some kind of lines of communication open. Now, it is very cavalier of people like Ashutosh who probably don't understand how these things work to simply pronounce that ban everything, banish everything. If he wants to do that, sure, by all means do it. But that's a very puerile way of handling these things. Thirdly, and this is the last point I wanted to make, look, people need to be very careful that when an enemy is paying you compliments, he thinks you are a useful idiot. So when people especially from the Indian Punjab, because they think that there is a certain restiveness in Punjab, the moment they start lauding somebody from the Sikh community, they will be able to seduce them, they will be able to attract them, they will be able to use them against India. This is what most of these people who are claimed to be artists and very successful artists simply do not understand. This is
Sir, I
what
have 30 seconds since you named Ashutosh. I have to get him to respond. Ashutosh, quickly respond, sir.
See, Gaurav, it's a really, I really amused to listen these kinds of words. You know what is the state of India's foreign policy? We are
Which
thrown
word
out
are
from
you
the we are thrown out from the Maldives. We are nowhere in Bangladesh, and the two biggest countries of the world, China, is openly supporting Pakistan, and America, Donald Trump, the great friend of Mr. Narendra Modi, says that Mr. Asim Munir is a great person. I love him. And
Yes,
also one of the
he's a
generals
field
says
Asim
that
You
Pakistan
don't even
is
know,
a,
he
is a
doesn't even
phenomenal.
know Asim Munir's name.
I do not.
Such an ignorant human.
Mr.
One by
Sushant
one.
Sarin, be civil, be
You
civil.
are so ignorant.
And one of
He
the
has not
generals,
even named Asim Munir.
one of the
Gentlemen,
American
one by one.
generals, one of the American generals has got the guts to say Pakistan is a phenomenal partner in anti-terrorism programs. Now, this is India's foreign policy. What is India's
Dr.
foreign policy? I just want to know.
Has India's foreign policy, does this show weakness or problems in India's foreign policy? Last 30 seconds, ma'am.
See, there's no doubt that we could have done a better job in sustaining the terrorism, the whole terrorism dialogue. We did drop the ball a couple of years earlier. You shifted entirely to China. You were looking just at that, and you thought Pakistan was, you just ignored Pakistan. Now, that's easy for us to say as desk warriors, but I know that given the limited resources which you have, that's about all you can do. But we need to pull this up. We need to pull up the narrative from everywhere, not just diplomacy. You need to seed this in universities everywhere.
It has to be the whole of the nation approach. I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. I've just absolutely run out of time. But do keep one thing in mind. India is at war with Pakistan. And in this war, every Indian has to be that warrior. Lend your shoulder to the wheel. This is the time we need our Bhamashahs, we need our Maharana Prataps to fight the Mughals or what was happening at that point of time. Because remember, Pakistanis think it is the Kafirs they are fighting.